Okay, so the next thing I want to discuss is a big change in the format. Right, we're losing fetch lands. That's a huge change in how everyone builds their mana bases. We are gaining these new they're calling them shadow lands, and what these say is that when you cast it, you need to reveal for the blue-black one an island or a swamp, and it comes into play untapped. And then it adds a blue or black to your mana pool. These do not count as an island or a swamp. They're just a land. So they're different than battle lands in that sense. But on that same note, you can reveal battle lands to make them untapped. That's a big interaction that I think is going to see a lot of play. The battle lands are very, very good lands, and I think that's going to help you cast these untapped a lot of times. And then you're obviously going to be playing more basic because we don't have any fetch lands to play anymore. So I think that's a big change. And I know you guys both played multiple fetch lands in your mana bases just because that's what everyone did. You know, up to 12 to 16 at some points.
Just got black.
You played just an infinite, and you could basically play as many colors as you wanted to without really any drawback.
4 color bases were better than 3 at the time.
Yeah, tri-lands were actually obsolete because trying to build 3 color mana base with tri-lands, you end up with like I think 18 sources or 17 sources of every color in your deck.
So knows the fetch lands 4 colors anyway.
Yeah, the four color mana base is just like, oh, you have 20 color sources for all your colors,
and it all comes into play untapped, unlike the tri-lands too.
Yeah,
sequencing properly, absolutely. Yeah.
It was just too insane. I'm glad the fetch lands are on. It just felt too much like modern.
Sure. I can see that.
Fact, but yes, I could see where we need to move away from it. I think these new lands are going to be great though. They do go hand in hand with the battle lands, but I think they're going to make a huge impact on standard as to where if you need a turn 2 Scorn or a turn 2 Grasp of Darkness, being able to play a buddy land on one, or an old school battle land on one, you don't have to have the untapped corresponding basic. You can have another battle land, play this and reveal it, and be able to grasp on 2 or Scorn on 2 much more effectively. So I think certain decks that need fast mana or specific colored mana on turns 1 through 4 are going to want more of these, and some of the other decks are going to want more of the battle lands that really care about 4 and on. I also think that them going hand in hand, most of the 2-color decks anyway are just going to max out on them because you want as many sources anyway. Sure. But when you start bridging into 3 colors, I think that's where it's going to get cool, and you're going to be able to reveal certain battle lands to trigger both the other ones where you only have one battle land. So I think it gives room for a lot of brewing possibilities.
And I think you're going to have to think about the way you make your mana bases a lot more than you did before.
Sequence is even more important now as well.
The order you play your spells and planning that out. For especially later in the game where you're not going to have the extra land to reveal. A lot of times with this, because it's you only have that's your last land in your hand, or you're just playing off the top and it's going to come into play tap for you.
Yep.
So
in testing too, having both of them, you can only have one come into play on tap for one turn.
Yep.
So having those as your a battle land and the new land for the last 2 lands in your hand, you're only going to have access to untapped mana on one of those turns because you reveal or you play the other one tapped and they're both tapped. So that's something I found out through testing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think it's definitely going to encourage more basic lands in your deck as well. There's going to be a lot more. You're going to play more of each basic in the mana bases as well. I think that's a big difference than what we did before.
It's also going to skew it to more 2-color decks. Those are going to be more 2-color mid-rangey decks.
Absolutely.
They're going to be more running around as opposed to the 3-color decks. The mana is doable, but like Cake said, it's probably better if you have shards instead of wedges. Because Esper, you get 2 Shadowlands, and then the corresponding Battlelands to trigger them.
Reveal for both. Yep.
Yeah. And so that's Bant, Naya, Grixis, Jund, Esper.
Yep.
But Temur, the ones we were used to, Temur, Jeskai, all those are gonna be much difficult to. They only get 1.
Yep.
They only
Makes
get
it
1
hard to reveal and build the mana itself.